Boom. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. It's been a little while, a very long time since I posted any content on this channel. So thank you for everyone who has subscribed and stayed. Today's video is a requested follow-up to my review of the Tecovas Jamie boots. I purchased these boots back in March of 2024. Whoa. They are quite heavy. I did retain the box despite moving, twice, well, moving out of one Houston apartment into another apartment, out of that apartment and into a house. But I love how sturdy the box is and how it held up to moving. So I packed this shoebox along with other shoe boxes and like other massive cardboard boxes throughout the moves that I did. And pretty much, you know, like I would say 95% of my shoe boxes, the shoes that were still in cardboard type boxes, all of those boxes were destroyed in the moves and fell apart. And this Tecovas box looks brand new. So hopefully, or maybe that will be an indication of things to come further along in this review. They are in a size 9, I believe. Yes, a 9 medium. I'm typically a size 8 or 8.5 in almost all women's shoes, but I do size up into 9 in heels. It was recommended to purchase my heel size in any type of cowboy or cowgirl boots, whatever your preference is to call them, right?
I'm not a cowboy, I'm a girl.
That was spot on for Tecovas. The color is midnight calfskin. Tecovas was not my first pair of cowboy boots, but it was my first sort of investment into a more expensive, but not just expensive, but an expectation that a higher level of quality would come along with that larger price tag. I just immediately loved these boots, the experience that I had in the Tecovas store, how friendly and professional everyone was. So at the time I was really looking for something that would be wearable. Oh my God, they still smell. Oh my God, it's that smell. They smell so good. And they smell just, it's like every time I open the box, they smell like they did that first time. But we'll get into that more in a second. Back to my experience in the Tecovas store. One of the selling points was that there would be no break-in period for these boots. That was absolutely true. Like I slipped them on my feet in the store. Did I wear them out of the store? I don't think I did, but I walked around in them quite a bit. And then the next several days after that, I wore these boots and wore these boots and wore these boots. I was just infatuated with them, the comfort, the different feel of them.
These boots are made for walking.
I was born in the 1980s, okay? And back then, our parents would buy, you know, my mom is still mortified to this day when she sees little kids, like people putting Crocs on their babies or like, you know, soft soled sneakers right out of the womb, essentially, because there was an understanding back then that children's feet, or I guess people were just used to wearing like real shoes, right? That were made of real materials, not like so much synthetic things. So I guess having that be your initial experience or like having a familiarity with that, and then experiencing a lifetime or the majority of your lifetime with shoes that aren't really good for your feet. You know, they're just designed for fashion, fast fashion, quick profit. This just took me to a different level, a different understanding and expectation about what I should wear on my feet. So at this point, I had just gotten the boots and I wore them daily for at least probably 2 weeks. The guy I was seeing at the time, like, he came to pick me up. We were going out. He's like, oh my God, are you wearing those boots again? You have other shoes. Like, why do you keep wearing those boots? And then just to irritate him, I continued to wear them for like another 2 weeks. So I think I like essentially just about lived in these boots for about a month.
I'm just goofing. New boot goofing.
Being in Southeast Texas, of course, we get a lot of rain, especially in the springtime. And so one of my first scary experiences, or the first time I sort of had gone out in the water with them, going out after the rain, and I went to wipe them off, dry, you know, around the soles, and so much black dye came off, and I was so scared and so horrified. I've never experienced anything like this with cheap shoes. I was really scared, like, oh my gosh, did I get bamboozled to buy these boots and there's just like a cheap, bad dye job or something on them? I will definitely get up a lot closer so you can really see. Purchased these in March 2024. It is currently October 2025, so it's like a year and about 7 months. I'll show you some of the flaws that they have now. I would not say there's any defects, but they're also aging and they're also breaking in. And I love that. I love that I've worn them so much, but they have not worn out. And they actually look better for the wear. And I also think they still have a lot of life left in them. To be honest, I have at times neglected these boots. So I think when I first got them, you know, I was really thinking about like conditioning the leather and doing this and doing that. But then I also noticed that these boots really were not very sensitive or very finicky. There are other shoes I've had in my lifetime, like Timberlands, Uggs, and I know those are more like suede material, but you know, like all of the sort of obsessive treating them and cleaning them, trying not to get them wet and all of these other kind of things. And then just sort of the eventual deterioration and seeing a decline in quality in those brands, in my opinion, over the years as well. Like, it's kind of sad because the prices go up and the quality goes down. But I've been shopping at Tecovas since then, and it seems like they've kept the bar level. So despite the fact that I have neglected them a little bit, they still look very good in my opinion. Now I'm a little bit sad because these used to say Tecovas across the bottom, but I also think it's kind of badass too that they're like worn in. Let me put them where they're supposed to be in this way that the Tecovas is now missing, right? I've still got my T's. I have a tendency, I don't know what it is, especially in cowboy boots, is like I will scuff. I'm always dragging this foot a little bit so you can see like it's a little bit uneven. These boots are repairable, they're customizable. I remember when I was in the store seeing people getting like their name or initials, just getting the boots customized. I can't stop running my hands up and down the leather because it feels so good and so nice. As a child of the 80s, I remember leather. I remember when everything was not faux leather and you could get a nice, you know, leather jacket, leather belt, leather anything. Everything wasn't just plastic. Adjustment as far as like the feeling of these boots, walking in these, and the bottoms felt a little hard, not in an uncomfortable way, but it was just unfamiliar. There's a feeling not quite easy to describe, but yeah, I guess the best thing I could say is like wearing real shoes. I had some like decent quality cowboy boots that were made in Brazil. They were Steve Madden. They're several years old. Each year when Steve Madden comes out with their Western boot collections, I'm searching. They still even make the boots of this particular name, but none of them seem to be manufactured in Brazil anymore. They're always manufactured in China or somewhere, and I'm reading the reviews and the quality doesn't look like it's there and things like that. So those Brazilian made Steve Madden cowboy boots, which were actually the boots I wore on my feet when I went to the Tecovas store, because somehow I felt like I need to wear cowboy boots and they needed to be of like a decent quality to walk in there. Tecovas, it does have that feel of like a Western yuppie kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Tecovas definitely gives you a middle class, like it's accessible, like the brand definitely feels accessible, but exclusive at the same time. And the people who are shopping there are, I don't know, just like living in Texas, there's certain degrees and certain expressions of the cowboy culture and the cowboy look, right? It's like corporate cowboy at Tecovas. That's the vibe I get. Yeah, people who work in corporate America shop at Tecovas, there's nothing wrong with that. And clearly I love my boots. They're beautiful. They have been very much complimented. Typically I have worn these in, casual settings, but at times when I kind of want to dress up but have a Western vibe, I style them with anything and everything, dresses, skirts, pants, shorts, you name it. I think I've worn these with at this point. No crushed toes in these, no break-in period. This, I think, might be maybe some water damage. Some people might be more expert than me. This came about 8 months to a year into having these, and I didn't try to do anything about it. So I have a better camera now, so you can really see what's going on. They're a little bit scuffed. Like I said, I didn't like prepare them for this review because I wanted to give a more real, raw showing of just what, my personal experience was like with these guys. So my closing thoughts about the Jamie by Tecovas. I absolutely adore these boots. I am so glad that I got them. I am looking forward to having them and continuing to wear them for many years to come. An acquaintance, someone I knew or met in Houston around the time I got these boots, had gotten a pair of Ariat boots and was kind of disparaging, like, oh, Tecovas is not real cowboy boots. Ariat is like, Cowboys wear those. They would wear, you know, like I said, these are kind of like the preppy, yuppie, wear these out to dinner or way, like you're styling and profiling. They're like the Nikes of cowboy boots, maybe, or not even Nikes. Maybe they're like the Prada sneaker of cowboy boots or something, right? So the boot snobbery, right, that can occur. I'm cooler than you because I have Ariat and you have Tecovas, essentially was the vibe. Noticed over the past, I mean, I've seen them a lot recently, like a ton of Ariat boots. And this is not to say anything about Ariat because I have no idea what's going on, but I've definitely been seeing them at Ross, Burlington, the lower end of discount retailers. It's kind of interesting. I don't know what's going on. She wasn't a friend, but I haven't spoken to her in over a year at least because I can't deal with that, man. Like, everything in life cannot be a competition, whatever. If we were to speak today, I might say, that's interesting, Miss Elite with your Elite Ariat boots. How does it feel to wear boots that are found at Ross? Because she's that type of person too that would have been like, turning her nose at Ross. And baby, I will go shop at Ross any day of the week. My point being, you know, I guess the tide can turn, things can change very quickly when it comes to brands and brand perception and how well a company is doing. But as far as I can tell, what I can see, it looks like Tecovas is still going strong. I surely have not seen them thrown in a bin, tossed aside in a bin at TJ Maxx or somewhere. Like, Ariat's not even in TJ Maxx, honey. They are in Ross. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. But anyway, at the end of the day, it's really about what you want and what you care about. I did like the idea of having like a recognizable brand boot. I'm not going to lie about that. But I also was really much more concerned about the quality, the investment, the value that I was getting with these Tecovas boots. And I feel like Tecovas really came through and met all of my expectations. Would I buy these boots again? Absolutely, 100% yes. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. As always, I love y'all. Peace.